March 8, 2014, Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370 took off from Kuala Lumpur. Within hours, it would become one of the greatest mysteries in aviation history. On board were 239 passengers and crew. They believed they were beginning a routine overnight flight to Beijing, with no idea of what lay ahead. Everything appeared completely normal. The weather was clear, the aircraft was performing well, and the flight followed its planned route. Then, shortly after the final routine radio call, Flight MH370 suddenly disappeared from civilian radar without any distress signal. There was no emergency message, no warning, and no explanation. The aircraft simply vanished from the radar. Search operations began almost immediately. Aircraft, helicopters, and rescue ships spread across the South China Sea, hoping to find any sign of Flight MH370.
Hours turned into days, but the search teams could not find any confirmed wreckage or survivors.
Then investigators discovered satellite data that suggested the aircraft had continued flying long after it disappeared from radar. The new evidence indicated that the aircraft may have changed direction, creating an even bigger mystery for investigators. If the aircraft really changed course, who made that decision and why? The mystery of Flight MH370 had only just begun. Military radar revealed something unexpected. After disappearing, Flight MH370 appeared to turn west and fly back across Malaysia. This single radar track completely changed the investigation and raised even more questions. Satellite communication data suggested the aircraft remained in the air for several more hours after radar contact was lost. But the satellite data could not pinpoint the aircraft's exact location, leaving investigators with only possible search areas. The search shifted toward the remote southern Indian Ocean, one of the most isolated places on Earth. More than 20 countries joined the mission, making it one of the largest international search operations in aviation history.
Powerful sonar systems scanned the ocean floor, but every new search ended with more unanswered questions.
Back at the airport, families waited for news, hoping every phone call would finally bring answers. Investigators examined every possibility, but none of the available evidence could fully explain what had happened.
With every passing month, the disappearance of Flight MH370 became one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in modern aviation.
In July 2015, more than a year after the disappearance, a damaged aircraft wing part was discovered on Réunion Island.
Experts later confirmed that the wing part, known as the flaperon, belonged to Flight MH370.
The discovery confirmed that the aircraft had ended its journey in the Indian Ocean, but its exact location remained unknown.
Ocean current experts analyzed how floating debris could have traveled thousands of miles across the sea.
Even with these important discoveries, investigators still could not explain exactly what happened during the aircraft's final hours.
Over the years, investigators and aviation experts considered several possible explanations, but none have been proven. Some experts suggested that a technical failure may have played a role, but no conclusive evidence has confirmed this theory. Others explored the possibility of human involvement, but investigators have never reached a final conclusion.
Without the main wreckage or the flight recorders, many critical questions remain unanswered.
More than a decade later, the disappearance of Flight MH370 continues to challenge investigators around the world.
Analyze this sector. I'm seeing an anomaly in the structure.
Running the cross-reference now.
It looks geological, not biological.
Every new clue is carefully examined, but the complete story of Flight MH370 remains unknown.
The disappearance changed international aviation, leading to improvements in aircraft tracking and emergency communication.
Shortly after the final routine radio call, Flight MH370 was no longer visible on civilian radar, beginning one of aviation's biggest mysteries.
Flight MH370 reminds the world that even in the age of advanced technology, some mysteries remain unsolved. Years have passed, but the search for answers continues. Every new discovery brings hope. Modern technology continues to help investigators study the ocean and re-examine old evidence.
Every piece of information is carefully examined in the hope of solving this remarkable mystery.
Flight MH370 changed aviation forever, encouraging improvements in aircraft tracking around the world.
For the families, the search has always been about finding answers and remembering those who were on board. More than a decade later, the mystery remains unsolved, reminding us how much there is still to learn.
The story of Flight MH370 remains one of aviation's greatest mysteries. Perhaps one day, the final answers will be found.